Well, guys, we're about 14 days away from the Texas Longhorns kicking off against UL Monroe and 22 days away from the Dallas Cowboys taking on Tampa Bay. So we've got a while before anything really starts happening, and during this time, not a whole lot's been happening other than the fact that Lou Holtz has picked Notre Dame to play Florida in the national championship. That's for another video. And also, a lot of you guys have been asking for preseason videos, and my question to you is why? I mean, I've been watching the preseason. I liked what I saw against Tennessee. I did not like what I saw against Oakland from the second and third teams. Thought the first team, especially first team offense, has looked pretty good. Romo, the offensive line is giving Romo time. He's making some of those crazy passes, and team looks ready and raring to go. I'm really excited to get to watch them in full form. But I put no stock into the preseason. I could care less. Tonight I didn't watch the game, but tonight Chicago beat the Giants, and the week before the Giants beat the Panthers and looked real good. I mean, if the Giants go 4-0 or they go 0-4, it doesn't change my opinion of them. I think the Detroit Lions won all their preseason games last year, or I know they won some, and they didn't win a game during the regular season. So I just like to watch the guys play. If they don't play well, it's not cool. But at the same time, you got to realize the coordinators and the coaches don't have their full packages in. They're experiment with stuff, and the things you see out there are not what you're going to see during the regular season. So I really hate preseason football because it gets y'all excited, like, hey, let's watch the Cowboys, and then about 3 series in, you're like, okay, this really doesn't matter at all, and I shouldn't get excited. So it's football. I know it's football, but sometimes I'd rather it not even be there. But I saw it since we have this time, about over 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from the Longhorns kickoff and over 2 weeks away from the Cowboys. I thought I'd like to talk to you guys, at least, especially some of the new guys, and also just tell you about my channel and how I do things on here. Maybe disparage some rumors or make you prepare for what's coming in. I've got the reputation here on YouTube of being the nice guy, of being, CowboyTD, that knowledgeable, nice guy. And that's fine, and I love that. I have no problem with that. I will say up front, what you see on here is who I am. I don't put on a facade for this. This is pretty much how I am during real life. I love sports. I love talking about sports. And the way I talk about sports on here is how I talk about sports with my friends and everyone else around that I come in contact with. But what I want to say up front is, to some of you guys who think that I'm just the nice guy or whatever, don't get offended or get all discouraged or think low of me when I say something along the lines of, your team is trash, they suck, and they don't deserve to have a program, things of that sort. Some people say that I'm just a football talker. They'll say that there's trash talkers and there's football talkers. And I'll have to agree, yes, most of my stuff is more just based on the games. But I think if you watch my stuff, it's not really about how smart I am about sports. Because really, guys, if you listen to what I say, I make a lot of mistakes. And I'm not good with stats, and I just I'll ramble sometimes like I'm doing right now. And sometimes my point's not as clear as I want. What I really wanted to build my channel on, and what I think's been successful so far, and all you guys subscribe to me, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, do so, and subscribe to all the other guys who are making football videos, NFL and college, because you'll have a good time, and it makes the games a lot more fun when you do this. But what I think really draws me, and what draws most people to these YouTube channels, is the emotion that I show, or the emotion that other people show when the games are over. If you guys notice, I've got comments from this, and I'm glad you guys noticed it. I'm pretty good about making a video right after a sporting event is over, between the Longhorns and the Cowboys, or a game that, that affects either of the two. And I try to do that because I want my true emotion to show. I don't like to wait too long and calm down and then make a video, because then it just turns into just a stat roll-off. Just like, well, Romo had 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions and we played real bad. No one wants to see that. So guys, what I like to do is, right when the game's over, you see exactly how I am once it's over. I'm an emotional guy. I get really invested in these teams, like most of us on here. And I think it's kind of neat that I can show that to the world. And sometimes it's embarrassing. I mean, when the Dallas Cowboys got knocked out of the playoffs by the Giants in 2 years ago, I made that video right when the clock was over. Right when the clock hit 3 zeros, I turned the computer on and made the video. And if you can go back and see that, you can definitely tell. Pretty much ruined the next 3 or 4 months of my life. You can kind of tell. I was pretty down about it. But I'm glad I did that so that I can go back and see, kind of relive and go through those videos like, hey, this is what happened there, and this is what it affected me afterwards. And I think a lot of people come for that and want to see that. But what my really main focus of this video was let you guys know that, let me use an example. Texas Tech. Last season against Texas Tech with the Longhorns. Throughout that whole week, I pretty much dogged Texas Tech. Did the Texas Tech hate videos, ragged on the school, ragged about some of their traditions with the tortillas and all that kind of stuff, and things of that sort. And then I did a thing before the game, and we lost. Texas Tech beat Texas. And I made a bet in the middle of the week saying that I'd sing the school song if they won, and Texas Tech did win, so I did that. Plus, I made a crow eating video. About 8 or 9 minutes of me just sitting there bleeding my heart out about the game. And people liked it. People said, wow, classy move, guy. Man, you really owned up. And but then they would go back to the other videos and say, dude, you're a real douche. I wish I'd seen these before I saw the other ones. You're actually a douchebag. Guys, that's what I'm going to do during the week. I'm going to rip. During Oklahoma week, I'm going to rip OU. During the Philadelphia Eagles week, I'm going to rip the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Giants, Washington Redskins. Texas Tech, you're getting it again this week 3. Oklahoma State, I was high on Oklahoma State last season. Oklahoma State's a big-time threat this season, and I'll be trying to get at them. So, yeah, I have the trash talk videos, and I'll have my regular, I guess, sports talk videos or whatever, just what I think is going to happen in the game. And am I biased? Heck yes, I'm biased. I wear the team colors in these videos for a reason. You know where I stand, who I support, and where I'm coming from. I don't hide that at all. But at the same time, I try to keep a realistic mindset. So when the Texas Longhorns play Oklahoma, I will say, yes, Texas will win. But I'm not going to sit here and act like OU sucks and there's no way we're going to lose. And there's some guys who do that, which is fine. I mean, this is the way I do things on here. I like to be realistic, but of course I'm a fan. I'm a fan first, and I'm a YouTube video guy second, I guess you could say. And but really, so guys, I don't want to hear from the people who start watching to say, hey man, I thought you were real classy. I thought you were a cool guy. Man, you really made fun of my team. You made fun of the Aggies, and I didn't like that. That's disrespectful. That's what we do on here, guys. And I hate that I give the false impression that I'm not going to do that. Because I don't know, the cream puff nice guy of the TTC in both categories, NFL and college. I will come at you and hit you hard. Now I'm not going to cuss you out and call you names and stuff. There are people on here who do that, and I actually love their videos. I think it's funny. Me personally, that's not my style. My style is usually to find your argument and tell you where you're stupid or where your program's trash, your team's trash, or whatever. Last year after Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl, Ohio State gave us a dang good game. And when the game was over, I gave them props and said, man, you guys took it to us, but we were able to come out, but props to Ohio State. If we had blown Ohio State out, I wouldn't have congratulated Ohio State. I would have said, you guys suck, we just blew you out, and that was an embarrassment. So I'm not, after games are over, I don't try to be, guys, I never use the word classy in my videos in its true form. People say that about my videos, which is great. Class act, whatever. After Philly beat the Dallas Cowboys, what I have to say, they just killed us, 44-6. So I try to keep it real at the same time. If my team blows your team out, yeah, I'm gonna gloat and point at your face. But just know that at the same time, your team does the same thing with me. I will always be here every week, week in and week out, after every Longhorns, after every Cowboys game, either to eat crow, give props, or rub it in your face. It's all here for fun, guys. I have a good time doing this. If you want to make videos, please get on this. Cowboys, Longhorns, those are my teams. I'm ready for football season. Make some videos if you want to, but I just want to let you guys know, you newer guys, and even some of your older guys, this is the way I run my channel, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And when I start coming at you, I'm still the classy guy you all think I am. We'll see you guys later.